From the rolling plains of Dixie to every orange and blue corner of the Southeast, game day begins with the Tiger Tailgate Show presented by Conecuh Sausage. Conecuh Sausage is a game day favorite and always great on the grill. Pick up a pack at your local grocer or visit the new Conecuh gift shop in Evergreen, Alabama. Coming up, special guest, a word from Coach Harsin, a look around Auburn athletics, and a check of all the day's action across college football. Featuring Ronnie Brown, voice of the Tigers Andy Burcham, Jason Campbell, and Stan White. Now, the host of the Tiger Tailgate Show, Brad Law.
Do you know the name Isaac Van Amberg? He was the shocking showman of the early 19th century. In the 1830s, he was likened to the biblical prophet Daniel when he fearlessly entered cages of ferocious lions and forced them to obey his commands. He was often harsh with the animals, but his beastly physicality got results, and he became known as the first world-famous lion tamer. Van Amberg is also credited with the early design of ornate circus wagons. The Auburn football team has a chance to earn some national notoriety itself today, and it might consider employing some of the same brute force and unflinching will against a particular pride of lions visiting from Pennsylvania. With an Auburn win today, the focus won't be on a circus wagon. It'll be the bandwagon that starts to fill up. Hello again, everyone. War Eagle, and welcome to another Saturday of Auburn Tiger football. It's the return game in the home-and-home series with Penn State, the first time a Big Ten team has ever played at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Fans are decked out in orange, and it's a beautiful day for a marquee game on the loveliest village. Now it's time for the first word from the Auburn locker room. Here's Andy Burcham with head coach Brian Harsin.
What's your philosophy about getting a team ready for a game where they don't peak too early? There's so much emotion before the game that they're a little flat to start it.
You hear it all the time, right? Trust the process every day. Focus on Sunday. Focus on Monday. I mean, really, what you have to do is just every single day, you need to hit your marks. And that's one of the things that we emphasized long ago is we got to hit these marks along the way in order to get to Saturday. And I think our guys have really bought into that. And I also think it takes a lot of just a lot off their plate. When you're not thinking about Saturday on a Monday, you're thinking about a Monday. You know what Saturday is going to look like if you take care of your business all week long, and the players have done that. So it's really that 1-0 mindset every single day, and then that will give you confidence when you go into a game that you trained, you prepared, and now all you got to do is go out there and just play exactly how you practice. You don't need to put a cape on. You don't have to do anything special. Just go play your game, all 11 guys, and do it for 60 minutes, and you have a chance to win the game.
Listen for Andy's complete conversation with Coach Harsin 30 minutes prior to kickoff, presented by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. What a crowd is lined up outside Jordan-Hare Stadium. Folks are going to be loud. They're going to be in their seats early. And, guys, we have a really phenomenal matchup today between the Tigers and the Nittany Lions. Andy, just a quick thought on last week against San Jose State. Auburn rushed for over 200 yards. They allowed their first rushing touchdown in 7 games going back to last year, and T.J. Finley closed that game exceptionally well as Auburn moved to 2-0.
To me, the encouraging part was the second half of football. It was not a good first half of football. Penalties, interceptions, execution just wasn't there. But T.J. Finley was also 12 of 15 in the air in the second half, and Auburn ran the football. That first drive of the second half is what we thought we would see from Auburn all game long. That has to be Auburn football today. Auburn can ill afford a half of football like it had last week against San Jose State, against Penn State here today.
Jason, this is a game that where it falls on the schedule could be beneficial for Auburn. They've played Mercer, they've played San Jose State. Through those first 2 games, the coaches have talked about they're still working on developing their identity up to this point in the season.
Yeah, it's probably why you saw them run the ball so much early in the first 2 games with Mercer and San Jose State. We was running heavy, and I think they want to put an emphasis on our run game. And when you have new offensive linemen, you think about Tate Johnson, his first time as a starter, as a center, you want to take as much off of him as possible until he gets to a comfortable position. And I think he's getting better and getting more comfortable making those line calls. Now I believe we can open up the offense a little bit more. And let's just be honest, you didn't want to show too much against Mercer and San Jose State, going into the Penn State game. You knew this game was sitting here at your 3rd game. So I expect us today to come out. You'll probably see some new things that we like to do. But I expect us to kind of unleash a lot of different things today.
Stan, defensively, Auburn's allowing just 64 rushing yards per game and just a little over 2 yards per rush. That's a really, I mean, obviously that's a formula for success throughout the season. The test is tougher today, though, with Nicholas Singleton and the rest of this Penn State rushing attack.
Yeah, no question about it. And they've got some freshmen back there that have really been electric. And they got a quarterback that's making his 36th start. In Sean Clifford, who brought them back against Purdue. And so he's a seasoned veteran guy. So it's going to be big for Auburn's defense. And I think the biggest thing that they've probably been more concerned they've got to work on is trying to get some turnovers. Auburn is lost a turnover battle the first 2 games of the season. And so I think for Auburn to have a chance here today, they've got to win that turnover battle, maybe create some short fields for TJ Finley and company, because Penn State's secondary is one of the best that Auburn will see this year. Outstanding, led by Joey Porter Jr. So it'll be tough sledding, but Auburn's defense can help their offense if they force some turnovers. Speaking
of Auburn's defense and that secondary, Ronnie, we saw Keontae Scott start for the first time last week. There's depth in that secondary, but they're still kind of figuring out who are going to be the guys out there to play those majority minutes.
Yeah, and I think that's the challenge. It's a good challenge because you have multiple guys who can play multiple positions. But like Stan says, you want to get those guys solidified in a position so they get more comfortable with routes and schemes and things of that nature, because you want to try to encourage those guys to be able to be aggressive, to get turnovers and take those chances when they understand the defense a lot better. So the more solidified they are in that position, the more they get to understand to see some of the different concepts and the routes. It gives them an opportunity to get that confidence going into a game like this. And, Sean Clifford puts the ball in the air. It gives them the opportunity, especially on the road, because you get some ill-advised stuff, or, when the crowd gets into it, they get excited. He feels like he has an opportunity to make a throw here or there, and then it just changes the momentum if one of these guys can be able to go up and get an interception.
Speaking of the crowd, Andy, we've seen a lot of, everybody at this table has seen a lot of really spectacular crowds, but there has been a different feeling on campus this week, a different feeling at Tiger Talk Thursday night. This is going to be something special today.
We saw Penn State folks on campus Thursday. That's the earliest I can remember the opposing fans being here, and they're here. There's a huge group of Penn State fans here. But here's the deal. And we saw a great atmosphere last year at Happy Valley for the whiteout game. Now they're at our place. Now they get to see what Jordan-Hare Stadium is like at 2:30 on an all-Auburn, all-orange day. And it can make a difference, guys. You've been on the field for Auburn, big Auburn football games. This stadium, these fans make a difference in a game like this one.
Oh, yeah, we need our student session today to get super loud. Make it as hard as possible.
Stupid loud.
Yes, make it as hard as possible for their offense. Make them have some false starts. Give our defensive line an opportunity to get a head start and, put them in some tough position. You saw last week in the San Jose State game.
Perfect
they got to
example.
the 1 yard line, and our student session got loud, and they got 2 false starts in a row. So we need some of that crowd noise today.
All right, we're going to talk about breaking down matchups. We're going to have some special guests. What's on the menu today for the Tiger Tailgate Show? That is presented by Whataburger. When you're craving a bigger, better burger, you know where to go, and that's Whataburger. And if you go right now, you can treat yourself with the all-new Bacon Blue Cheeseburger. 2 all-beef patties, crispy bacon, grilled onions, blue cheese crumbles, and peppercorn ranch. So, what are you waiting for? It's almost lunchtime. It's available for a limited time at participating locations. What is on the menu today? Well, former Tiger standouts Wes Byrum, Karlos Dansby, Ben Obomanu, T.D. Moultry. Between Wes and Ben being on the show, it could be a litigious show today on the Tiger Tailgate Show. We'll get it started with Calvin Johnson, Dean of the Auburn University College of Veterinary Medicine. That is coming up next when the Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Conecuh sausage is a product we all know and love, and it's the official sausage and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Conecuh sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork, patented blend of seasonings, all natural casings, and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true southern flavor. Enjoy a crowd-pleasing Conecuh sausage dog or premium hot dog while watching the Tigers, and make Conecuh part of your game day or any day. Conecuh sausage is celebrating their 75th year. The Sessions family making their premium smoked sausage in Evergreen, Alabama. Be sure to visit the new Conecuh gift shop right off I-65 at exit 96.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Auburn Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Hey, I'm Charles Barkley. Call for a Red Mont and water at bars and restaurants throughout the great state of Alabama. Redmont Vodka, available at select ABC stores and package stores. Redmont Vodka is 8 times distilled, gluten-free, and is made from non-GMO corn. Looking to support a local business? Redmont Distilling is Alabama proud and minority owned. Learn more online at redmontdistilling.com.
Children's of Alabama reminds you that every child's head injury should be treated like a serious injury until a doctor says it's not. In fact, the CDC estimates some 4 million sports and recreation-related concussions occur each year. Even a minor fall or collision may be a concern. Symptoms typically include headaches, unsteadiness, confusion, or sleepiness. To find out what to do in case of a suspected concussion, visit childrensal.org/concussion and always dial 911 in case of an emergency.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Brad Law, Stan White with you outside Jordan-Hare Stadium with the Tiger Tailgate Show, and Real Pawpaws wear orange. I love that shirt here in the crowd. Fans are in orange today. Uniform combinations are the subject here. This 2-minute drill. Stan, what are some of your favorites?
You know, obviously I'm biased toward orange and blue. I love Auburn's uniforms. Best in college football. If I had to choose one outside or a handful outside, I always loved, back in the 80s and early 90s, I liked Florida State's uniforms. We played them every year, but I like their uniforms, a good color combination. I like Penn State's uniforms. They're just simple, the dark blue and white. Penn State's got some phenomenal uniforms. I always kind of like Texas as well.
Yeah.
You know, I guess the simple ones. Now you go crazy. You know, Oregon had that color combinations. I'm just not a huge one of that. I liked UCLA's when I was a kid as well, kind of that powder blue.
What about Oregon before they got crazy with the combinations? How do you feel about just a simple green and gold?
I always liked the Oregon, that graphite look they had, kind of that I don't know, platinum type look with the green combination. Not the real. I'm not a huge just high, that yellowish green. It just really stands out. I'm not huge on that.
All right, obviously Auburn's jerseys are the best in college football. Road, I mean, you know, number 1 home, number 2 road, or you know, you can switch those, whatever you like. Care to talk about your least favorite uniform combos?
I've never been a huge fan. I've never understood the Maryland flag. Maryland flag is jumbled up. It's like a NASCAR flag, but it's also just a little bit of everything. So Maryland, the time they went split half down the middle, they went like a plain helmet and then the Maryland flag on the side is too
much.
Crazy.
Too busy.
Much. Yeah.
All right, that's Stan White. Check out the Nissan Heisman House today. Take your photo with a larger-than-life Heisman statue as well as the real Heisman Trophy. That's across campus. We'll have more in 2 minutes. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Capri, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the chicken. They actually put it on the grill, cooked it in the sauce. It's definitely a good grilled spicy sandwich.
Hey, I'm Michelle, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is it's spicy and it's full of flavor. When you pair that with the Kale Crunch Salad, it's just good.
Order a grilled spicy deluxe sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Here with This Week in Auburn Athletics. Volleyball will play its 3rd match in 2 days tonight at the Jacksonville State Invite to close out its non-conference schedule before the start of SEC play at Alabama next weekend. Number 23, Auburn Soccer, fell in its SEC opener on the road at Missouri. The Tigers will be back in action for another road SEC match on Thursday against Arkansas with kickoff scheduled for 6 Central. Men's golf earned its first victory of the season at the Maui Gym Intercollegiate, shooting a program record 45 under during the 54-hole event. Junior Ryan Eshelman broke the individual 18-hole record with a 10 under 60 in round 1 of the tournament. Eshelman finished tied for 8th. Cross-country race at the North Alabama Showcase yesterday, with the women finishing in 4th place and the men finishing in 6th. Men's tennis, women's tennis, and women's golf will all be in action away from Auburn this week. To view full schedules and more information, visit auburntigers.com. For This Week in Auburn Athletics, I'm Jacob Hillman. War Eagle.
In 1925, Modelo began brewing beer for those who believe in better. A model beer, steeped in the tradition of tireless effort. A rich Pilsner-style lager for those who wear their heart and heritage in their rolled-up sleeve. Since our first batch to every bottle raised today, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters what you're made of. Modelo Especial, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
And welcome back to the Tiger Tailgate Show. A spectacular day for a wonderful matchup at Jordan-Hare Stadium. It's Auburn and Penn State. With Andy Burcham and Jason Campbell, I'm Brad Law, and we welcome in now Dean Calvin Johnson. He is the Dean of the Auburn University College of Veterinary Medicine, and we welcome you back to the Tiger Tailgate Show. Welcome, War Eagle.
War Eagle, it is great to be here.
You're a fixture on this show. We have to talk to you every year about what's going on, and there's always something going on at VetMed.
I love being here. Athletics and College of Veterinary Medicine, we do a lot of good stuff together.
When you think about game day, one of the greatest traditions in college football is the flight of the Eagle about 20 minutes before kickoff, and you're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Southeastern Raptor Center here.
Right. Raptor Center is a big part of the game day tradition and the Eagle flight, and recognizing that it's so much more than that. It's about rehabilitation of injured birds and orphan birds, and also about the education of the public on just how important these animals are to all of us. And so to have that also be able to be recognized, across the board, to the Auburn fan base, every single Saturday we have a home game, big deal.
Well, I have a little bit of a close history with the veterinarian school here in Auburn. Most people don't know that. It was because one of my exes I used to date was in veterinarian here. So,
Well, I'm glad to know that.
Yeah. So I got to just get a little bit close to knowing how things operate. But
what are you about to ask?
No kidding.
So the student section and the fans that are out here, tell them about what does it take to get the Eagle ready to fly, and what's a normal week for the Eagle?
So the Eagle flight takes a lot of training. It takes every day the Eagle going to the top of the stadium and circling, and they start in the middle of the summer.
Okay.
And trying to get the Eagle used to it, and I'm always amazed at the fact that when the stadium is full of people, that the Eagle still flies the same way as when the stadium is empty. And the last couple of flights this year have been just spectacular. Indy has been flying the bald eagle, and she's just done an amazing job circling, staying up for a long time, and then coming down.
How about an update on Aria, if you would, please?
Yeah, Aria, of course, War Eagle 8 is doing very well, is healthy, is recovering from surgery, and we anticipate that she'll be back in flight in the next few weeks.
It was a digit, is that right?
Yes, she had an injury to the digit that just needed was chronic inflammation, and we don't really know how it happened, but we know that it needed attention, and so we were able to remove that part of the tissue that was affected by that.
And here.
We did it at the College of Veterinary Medicine. Everything's great. She healed up wonderfully, and she's just itching to get into the game. So
aren't we all?
Yeah. Yeah. But she'll be going around the stadium on the ground, but not flying before the game.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
One more question, if I could. Of course, there's so many different arms and wonderful things happening at the College of Veterinary Medicine. One more about the Raptor Center, though. There's a new director there, and I know that's something we want to talk about.
Yes, we've got a new director, outstanding opportunity for us. His name is Wade Stevens. And Wade has come in. He's got a lot of experience in rehabilitation of not just birds, but of all species. And he's coming in. He is from the city of Orange Beach, Alabama, and was there for majority of his career. And he's just bringing this perspective of not only rehabilitation and education, but also realizing the growth potential of the Raptor Center. And we've got a big plan for the center to become an event type space, building on the Auburn tradition of the Eagles. And so he's going to take that and run with it, and we're really excited about where it's going to go.
We came down today after setting up in the stadium, and we saw some of the dogs working. That is something that is integral in vet med and the training of the dogs that you see with the police force on game day, and not just there, but that's certainly something that we see every game day here.
Every Auburn fan needs to know that Vapor Wake is the name of the dog that Auburn has developed, and it's the top of the line dog for detection of explosives. When you go through the airports and you talk to TSA people at the gates, they know what Auburn is relative to canine detection, and Vapor Wake is the gold standard for that.
Let's talk a little football here with you.
All right.
It's a great day, awesome weather. Yep. They always laughing because they don't know what question I'm going to ask.
You're right. You're exactly right.
That's precisely why we're laughing. Yeah.
So talk about game day. What do you enjoy about a big day like today?
I love this, what it does to the campus. You know, as an academic person, football just adds an element of excitement to everything. Not just the football game, not the pregame flight. It's just everybody has a spring in their step, and that is so special. You know, it makes people feel good about working here, about working hard, about students, taking exams and prepping overnight on things. And, you know, there's nothing like Auburn game day experience.
And halftime has been a little extra special for you in particular these first couple of games of the season, because the Auburn University Marching Band is incorporating some elements, some teamwork with the College of Veterinary Medicine. I
was humbled by the fact that the Auburn University Marching Band, Corey Sperlin as the director of the bands, the first halftime show was relative to the canine detection program. And they had this beautiful formation of a dog that was walking and then sitting, and it was just, I think Skip Bartol, Dr. Bartol, who is leading that program right now, said, you've really arrived when the halftime show is featuring your academic program.
That's a good point.
So that was a lot of fun to see that. And then the next game, recognizing the 50th anniversary of the Southeastern Raptor Center through the band that was comprised of high school bands and the Auburn band.
It has certainly come a long way, because when I moved to Auburn in 1988, about right where we are now was the old Eagle Cage.
Yeah.
Right here. And now, boy, what that has become with the Raptor Center is truly amazing. And as you mentioned, about to become even grander.
It is. It's a history in and of itself, really. You think about Alpha Phi Omega had a big role in maintaining the Eagles when they were on campus. And then the opportunity to have that be part of the College of Veterinary Medicine, so had that academic element and the medical component that was able to respond if needed, and aligning that with the rehabilitation mission. All of that just came together, and it's interesting to see that evolution. And we've got a big vision for what that evolution is leading to in the next 10, 15 years, and really excited about that being part of our college, because it's something that no other College of Veterinary Medicine has, and we love that.
Right.
Really outstanding, really exciting to talk about, and we appreciate you coming by and doing just that, talking to people about what all is happening at the College of Veterinary Medicine.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity to be part of this broadcast, so thank you very much.
You got it. Enjoy the game. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Dean Calvin Johnson from the Auburn University College of Veterinary Medicine, kind enough to join us here on the Tiger Tailgate Show. Hey, register your child ages 5 to 12 for the Auburn Tigers Kickoff Kid Contest from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Winners will retrieve the kicking tee at Jordan-Hare Stadium, receive 4 game tickets, pregame VIP hospitality, sideline access, a custom T-shirt, and video board recognition. Enter now at auburnKickoffKid.com. That's auburnKickoffKid.com. A 2-minute drill, and then Karlos Dansby, one of the great linebackers to play in the orange and blue, coming up next when the Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Take it to the house this football season with the Alabama Manufactured Housing Association and the Auburn Tigers. If Auburn returns its first received kickoff in the second half for a touchdown at one of its home SEC games, one lucky fan will win a $75,000 down payment towards the purchase of a manufactured home from an authorized AMHA dealer. Don't miss your chance to take it to the house this season and win a beautiful manufactured home. Register today at auburntigers.com/takeittothehouse. Certain terms and conditions may apply. For a complete set of contest rules, visit auburntigers.com/takeittothehouse.
The 2-minute warning, the caution flag, the 4. At PNC Bank, we believe in the power of a helpful watch out. That's why we created Low Cash Mode, the new financial watch out that gives you multiple options and at least 24 hours of extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Low Cash Mode on Virtual Wallet from PNC Bank. Available on all virtual wallet products. To learn more, visit pnc.com/lowcashmode. Copyright 2021, the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc. All rights reserved. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
We've all fallen into boring routines. We just keep doing what has to get done. Isn't it time to escape the old routine and make time for yourself? Make time to go out with old friends. Make time to add excitement back into your life. Make time to feel like a winner again. Life is more fun when you live it. So what are you waiting for? Escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and WindCreekCasino.com.
This is head coach Brian Harsin. I've been around cars all my life. Working on them, racing them, have taught me about being prepared, pay attention to details, and do things the right way. That's why I drive an F-150 pickup, because Ford does things the right way too. They designed F-150 to be powerful, smart, and always game day ready. That's why Ford F-150 is the official truck of the Auburn Tigers. Visit your local Ford dealer today. War Eagle.
Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Brad Law and Ronnie Brown, and we're going to talk about running backs, and in particular what it's like to come in as a freshman running back at the college level. Ronnie, we saw Nicholas Singleton put up some huge numbers last week for Penn State. Tank Bigsby was able to come on a couple of years ago and make a big splash his freshman year. What does it take for a running back to come in as a true freshman and assimilate to the game effectively?
Well, I think nowadays, that's probably the easiest transition, when you talk about coming from high school to college. And so, depending on your high school coach, how prepared you are, the talent speaks for itself. And so you get guys like you said, Tank Bigsby and Nick Singleton, who comes in, who understands the game, and then he just fits in as a puzzle piece, because you can't, in fact, just change the game from that position by yourself. And so it's big to come in and you understand blocking schemes, and the more on page you get and the faster that happens, the easier it is to just be able to let your pure talent take over.
It helps, too, when there's not a guy like Rudy Johnson on campus, right? That's what kind of – that's what –
Yeah, when you're coming out of high school, it doesn't help you when you got the #1 JUCO player showing up to campus as well, where his calf muscles look like the football.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Ronnie, let's talk a little bit. You're well rested and ready to go for this game. You had a terrific stay last night at the Auburn Marriott Opelika Resort and Spa at Grand National last night.
Yeah, it's always a good time, and I was sitting out by the pool last night. There were a lot of people in the pool hanging out.
Yeah.
There was a few people finishing up their golf round, and so it was good. It was a relaxing environment, and it was pretty chill. So it's close enough but far enough away from the madness, and you get a chance to sit back and relax. And I just sat on the balcony and watched a little bit of the golf course.
Yeah, it's a really great place. 3 pools, a whole lot more. So book a staycation at the Auburn Marriott Opelika Resort and Spa at Grand National. Karlos Dansby coming up in 2 minutes as we count you down to the Tigers and Penn State. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Live Sports Radio, bringing you all the action of game day with no delay. Every touchdown, tackle, sideline report, and all the analysis from Andy Burcham, Stan White, and Ronnie Brown with no delay. At home and on the road, $25 new or $10 to reprogram the one you already have. Also, use it for every broadcast of home men's and women's basketball, baseball, and softball games, all with no delay. With Live Sports Radio, presented by Alpha Insurance.
Sports matter. They bring us together. That's why we're a proud sponsor of athletic programs across the state. More fans, families, and friends trust Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama to provide the health insurance coverage and services they depend on. We're proud to support Alabamians. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters.
Saturdays in the South mean football and outdoor projects. And like an all-American lineup, nothing works harder or better than quality John Deere equipment. So get to Sun South, where it's more affordable than ever to own the best equipment available. Plus, discover our new selection of John Deere compact construction equipment, perfect for larger projects. Think Sun South, with 21 locations throughout the Southeast, or shop online at sunsouth.com. Sun South, proud to be the preferred tractor of the Auburn Tigers.
We know a place where you can find bacon, blue cheese, and ranch all together, and that place could be in your hands. Picture this. You're holding the new Whataburger Bacon Blue Cheeseburger. Made to order with 2 fresh all-beef patties, crispy bacon, blue cheese crumbles, grilled onions, and our own peppercorn ranch. This is one of my favorite places. I'm actually there in my mind right now. Whataburger's all-new Bacon Blue Cheeseburger. Just like you like it. For a limited time at participating locations.
We're back on the Tiger Tailgate Show to tell you about the magnitude of this game today. The student line to get in is already extended out to almost our stage here. The students are ready to go. There they go.
Yes, sir.
We have a, very simply put, one of the most prolific linebackers to play the game in the college and the NFL. Karlos Dansby, one of the all-time Tiger greats on the stage. Karlos, welcome, and War Eagle.
And War Eagle, man. I'm glad to be here, man. It's a blessing to be here, man. I'm excited, man. I appreciate you guys having me. You know, thanks, Randy B, J Cam, everybody.
What's up with that gray hair on your chin, though,
hey,
man?
Hey.
You dyed that thing?
No, man.
So that's how this is going to start.
Hey, look,
huh?
you shooting shots already. It's a beautiful thing, man. No, man, it's just age. You know, it comes with it, territory. I embrace it. I wear it well, I think. You know,
that's what you got to do. You got to own it.
Yeah.
Pride of Woodlawn High School, right?
Yes, sir.
I remember you came here as a kind of a wide receiver.
Yes, sir.
DB type, but you wound up playing, and I think you're the only one I've ever seen in my 22 years of broadcasting, maybe in Auburn history, to play every level of a defensive scheme in the same game, if I'm not mistaken. You've played safety, linebacker, and rush end in the same game at certain times, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I said, I was blessed with a gift, and the guys around me, they really, I want to say, molded me. You know, Kendall Simmons, you know what I'm saying? Guys like that, they showed me how to play the game. Run it B, J Cam, you know, all the receivers, Coach Knox at that time, you know, they was schooling me, man, giving me all the information I needed, and I just went out and applied it. That was it.
Yeah, and Los, as we talk, it's so much to talk to you about. You know, obviously coming in together and you making that switch. But as we were talking about before you came on, like just there's guys who play football and then there's football players. You're
Right.
one of the guys that was a football player, like Stan said. For you to be able to play every level of the defense, coming in as a receiver, but your instincts that you have as a football player, like where did that develop from? Because we were talking about these young guys who don't watch the game as much, who don't understand it, so it's hard to develop those natural instincts.
Oh, man, that's a great question. I want to say it started early. My brother, my older brother, he was on me, man. It started in Little League. I think playing video games at that time, watching NFL at that time. Like I said, if you're not watching the game, you'll never learn. You'll never have those instincts to recognize some of the things that you're seeing when you have your opportunity. And I think that was the main thing for me. Playing the game, playing the video games, watching NFL, you know what I'm saying, having certain players that I admired during that time, it allowed me to be able to watch them develop, and mentally it was just hitting it all at the same time.
Because I see you, like you were one of the guys during the game, like you like, hey, if he do this, we're going to do this, we do this. And so you controlling that a lot on the sideline, whereas, now we see the coach sit the guys down, they tell them, but it was more of a player's thing. It's like, hey, man, this is what they doing, this is what we see, let's figure out how to change this up.
Yeah, you got to become a student of the game if you want to be great. You got to start early. You know, you have to really watch the film, try to break it down, and if you see something twice, you gotta trust and believe that, hey, man, I've seen this before. I know what it looked like, and I'm going to jump this route. I'm going to make this play, and this is my opportunity. And you got to take advantage of that opportunity because you don't get many, and you got to make the most of them.
There is a guy that I've compared you to a handful of times this early in this season that's got your body stature, 6'5", 230-pound Cam Riley, and he's playing kind of that outside linebacker. Had 14 tackles in the first game, 9 solos, and he's as close to his body stature as I've seen in you, because usually a linebacker is 6'1", 6'2", 230. I mean, you're 6'5", 6'6", taller, rangy guy. Talk about his play a little bit.
Oh, man, I can't wait to see him play. That's one of the main reasons why I came out here. I wanted to see him up close and personal. You putting them kind of stats out right now, it's going to be lights out when he get to the next level. I can't wait to watch him develop here in Auburn, you know what I'm saying? And just with the history of the linebackers that came through here, and for him to come out the gate just playing like this, man, I'm super excited about, like you said, his range, his size, his ability to get off blocks, his angles to the ball. I'm watching all of this, and I'm going to be able to break it down and tell him, like, hey, man, this is what you need to do in order to take it to the next level, because you got what the coaches can't coach. You already have the stature. You already have the range. And you can't coach that. That's something you can't. That's a gift God gave you. So now you got to be able to prime it and be able to use it on a consistent basis. And that's what he's doing. That's how he's able to get all those tackles. I'm looking forward to watching him play.
Karlos, what was the transition like for a guy with instincts and the frame and some of those God-given abilities? It doesn't mean you don't have to put in the work. What was the learning curve like when you made the jump from college to the NFL?
Man, Ray Knock Thompson. Coach Witt talked about him every day in the meeting room. Ray Knock Thompson played at University of Tennessee, played with Peyton Manning. He's part of that squad with him and Al Harris. I think Al Harris at that time, or middle linebacker. And like I said, man, Raynoch Thompson was my measuring stick. He was 230, 6'3". Like I said, Coach told me everything about him. He said he was the best linebacker he ever seen play. And we in the meeting room with him, and he telling us, hey, man, Raynoch Thompson is the best linebacker I ever seen play. He had Taquio Spikes and he had all these other great linebackers come through here. But he's telling us about a linebacker at another school. You know what I'm saying? So when I got to Auburn, when I got to Arizona, he was in my locker room. So you got to understand the magnitude that was. I was like, man, this Raynoch Thompson. Like they didn't know that I was like that about him, but I'm like, man, this Raynoch Thompson. And he welcomed me to the NFL. I can give you the play for play. We was at training camp 2 days, and the offense happened to run a screen. This guy, you got to understand, this guy 225, 227, 28, wet, soaking wet. That screen play ran, he didn't care about the ball at all. It was that lineman that came out there thinking that he was going to block him. And that was my welcome to the NFL. I seen him flatten a 300-pound lineman. And when he flattened that 300-pound lineman, I said, oh, my God, this is different. The running back's still running with the ball. But it was just the fact that this 300-pound lineman is sitting down, he's on the ground in front of me, because I'm on the knee on the sideline watching this, and it's happening right in front of me. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is what Coach Witt was talking about. And it just changed my whole perspective on the game.
Well, Los, I had a story I was going to tell, but I know we're running short of time, so I'm going to keep it to myself.
Oh, you got time. Go ahead.
I got a little time.
You got a couple minutes.
Well, you know, Karlos first came here as a receiver, let's be honest. When he first came to Auburn, you know, I saw this guy out there running. And what number did you have? Coach Knox gave you it was something.
It was an ugly number.
It was like a defensive lineman number.
The shoulder pads was
big. The shoulder pads was big. He had
Yeah.
these sailboats for shoes out there. I was like, man, this guy's skating on the ice out here trying to turn on a hitch route. So, you know, not long after that, they ended up moving the defense. And he swear he knew everything about offense as far as like picking us off in practice and different things. But people don't know this. You're one of the few 5 players of all times NFL to have 40 sacks, 40 interceptions.
20 interceptions. 43 sacks.
Yeah.
I got you.
So you one of the only 5 and ever do that in the history of the NFL. Talk about what that means to you.
Oh man, it means everything to me. It means Hall of Fame. When I came out of Auburn, during the scouting time, during the combine, they asked me what I wanted out of the game. I told them I wanted the yellow jacket. They were like, Coach Green was like, you don't want no Super Bowl, you don't want no Pro Bowls. I said, look, if I'm going after this yellow jacket, all that stuff will come, because I'm giving the team the best opportunity to win. I'm playing the game the way it's supposed to be played, and I'm going after something that's great.
You guys don't know this. You know, Karlos doesn't even know this, what I'm about to say.
Oh, boy. See, Jason's normally our loose cannon.
Karlos has some connection where I help volunteer coach. He's over at John Carroll High School in Birmingham, and he's so graciously, 14-year vet now, has graciously volunteered to come help coach those guys up a little bit over there. But no, in all seriousness, he does have connections there. Have you ever thought about going into coaching? Has that been something you aspire to do one day?
Definitely. I had opportunities coming out the gate. I had plenty of opportunities. It just wasn't time. I know what it takes to be a great coach. If I do it, I want to be great at it. I don't want to cheat the game, because one thing I hung my hat on the 14 years is don't disrespect the game. You disrespect the game will disrespect you. You know what I'm saying? And it goes on every level, from coaching all the way down to every player. So I never disrespected any player. I always respected their ability on the field, and I had to prepare for them on the level of that kind of respect. And I hang my hat on that. So I don't want to disrespect the game in no form or fashion.
Tigers get the job done today?
Yes, sir, without a doubt.
There you go.
Without a doubt. Run
there
the ball,
it is.
Dave. Run the ball. Run the ball.
Run the ball. Karlos
Yes,
Dansby, one of the greats to do it. Thank you very much for the
Thank you,
visit.
sir.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.
By the way, there are current NFL Hall of Famers with fewer career tackles than this man right here. Karlos Dansby finished with 1,417 in his 14-year NFL career. If you're looking for an easy, seamless transition to Auburn University, consider Southern Union State Community College. They're conveniently located just a few miles from Auburn. Southern Union, they offer classes that easily transfer to the university. Endless opportunities are right up the road. We'll pick some games around the country coming up next when the Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
In the 2003 Citrus Bowl, Auburn and Penn State were locked in a low-scoring affair late in the fourth quarter. Auburn had possession inside the Nittany Lion red zone and handed the ball to Ronnie Brown for the 33rd time for an Auburn Bank championship moment after this.
We're live from Auburn Bank signing day. Angela scanning the closing documents. Looks like the competitive rate her Auburn Bank mortgage lender promised. She gets the pen, clicks it once, twice, spin move, and we have a signature. Angela Green is a first-time homeowner. With competitive rates, online applications, and hands-on mortgage lenders, the wins just feel bigger. Auburn Bank, champions of you. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. NMLS number 403461.
Here's another 3rd and short for Auburn. They need about a yard this time. Johnson is the fullback. Brown the tailback. Quick snap. Campbell hands off to Brown. Brown's in the open at the 15 to the 10. He's at the 5. He dives. He's in. Touchdown, Auburn! Auburn has scored on a 3rd and short. And the Tigers take the lead at 13-9.
Brown's 184 rushing yards and 2 touchdown performance against Penn State pushed him over the 1,000-yard rushing mark in the 2002 season and earned him the game's most valuable player.
Here's a 3rd down and 10 play for Penn State. This one is intercepted as Mills throws it to Roderick Hood. Hood back at the 50 and east of the 45, the 40, the 35, and on to the 30-yard line. And with 1:49 still to play, Auburn is going to win this game.
The Auburn defense held 2,000-yard rusher Larry Johnson to just 72 yards in the game. The Tigers defeated Penn State 13-9 in the 2003 Citrus Bowl. This was a championship moment presented by Auburn Bank, champions of you.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Brad Law, voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham, and look at all of the phones that are out taking pictures right now.
It ain't for us.
It is not for us, no. You're right. Because Sir Charles Barkley is here and will be with us coming up. Listen to that. In 2 minutes.
We could say anything right now. It would not matter.
Absolutely.
We may just start singing.
He's got them in the palm of his hand.
Absolutely.
All right. He's got something else in his hand he's going to talk about, too. Basketball, though, is going to be a little bit of a topic in the stadium later today. The Auburn men's basketball team will be recognized and honored for their SEC regular season championship.
It is one of the great coaching jobs in Auburn history.
Yeah.
What Bruce Pearl has done with this program, of course, an SEC regular season championship last year, a #1 ranking for the first time ever, his second SEC regular season championship, an SEC tournament championship, and a Final Four appearance, all since Bruce Pearl took over this program. And watching this team play in Israel this summer, it's going to be another good ball club that Auburn has this year.
We're just over 50 days away from the start of the men's basketball season at Neville
Hope you have
Arena.
your tickets.
Yeah, I hope so.
Hope you have your tickets.
Yeah. It's I think Coach Pearl's in reloading mode at this point.
And I think that's going to become the case for Bruce Pearl. Not rebuilding, reloading what you have on this campus.
No question about it. Going to be another thrilling year at Neville Arena. And, again, it'll be great to see those guys honored for their SEC championship today at Jordan-Hare Stadium. We are getting you set for Auburn and Penn State. The stage is filling up. The student gates are about to open up.
Yeah.
It's going to be phenomenal today as we get you set for the Tigers and the Nittany Lions. This is not the only game across college football. We have 4 of the other ones that our crew will pick for you. We'll get Charles Barkley's thoughts on that as well next. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
The official motions for quiet. That's Ed from Auburn Bank looking over another commercial loan application. He's assessing the capital needs of the small business, and long-term local relationships are his specialty. The client's liking it. They're really liking it. They love it! Exactly the hands-on experience they were looking for. Another local business with the capital they need for a big win. Auburn Bank, champions of you. Member FDIC.
Hey, I'm Charles Barkley. Call for a Redmont and water at bars and restaurants throughout the great state of Alabama. Redmont Vodka, available at select ABC stores and package stores. Redmont Vodka is 8 times distilled, gluten-free, and is made from non-GMO corn. Looking to support a local business? Redmont Distilling is Alabama proud and minority owned. Learn more online at redmontdistilling.com.
The Auburn University College of Veterinary Medicine is the South's original veterinary medical program and the nation's 7th oldest. We are a leader in preparing students for careers in veterinary excellence, transforming animal health care and innovative research and discovery to improve the health of both animals and humans. Independent surveys of pet owners and referring veterinarians rank our teaching hospital tops in the nation. Learn more at vetmed.auburn.edu.
I've always wanted to learn how to hunt and fish, but I didn't know where to begin. OutdoorAlabama.com helped me get started. There I learned the basics of hunting and fishing, including what's in season and which license to buy. You can even sign up for classes to help you become a successful hunter or angler. Now I'm confident in the woods or on the water. What are you waiting for? Learn more at OutdoorAlabama.com. Go hunt, go fish, get outdoors. This message was brought to you by the Alabama Department of Conservation and Natural Resources.
And welcome back to the Tiger Tailgate Show presented by Conecuh Sausage. The stage is full. How beloved is Charles Barkley among the Auburn family? Yeah. Listen to this. Charles Barkley, thank you very much for coming by today. What is game day like for you? It's just insanity.
Well, I want to give a shout out to the Auburn family. I love you guys. Welcome. And listen, to the Penn State people, welcome to Auburn, Alabama. There's probably a lot of red mud consumed this weekend. We started yesterday on the golf course over at Saugerhatchee.
I saw some pictures.
Shout out to my boy Joe Champion, who's been like a big father figure for me for the last 40 years. We played golf yesterday. We had a blast. Greg Olson played with me. There was a guy who played with her who was a line cheating dog. I can't remember his name, but he shot like even par, and he said he was an 8 handicap.
Sandbagged you?
Oh, one of the worst cheaters I've ever played with. Guy was putting for birdie on every hole and said he was an 8 handicap.
He said it was a good day.
After about 9 holes, I was like,
it wasn't Tommy Tuberville, was it?
That wasn't, no, it wasn't Tub. No. Hey, I don't want my football coach being a good golfer. 2 things I don't want: my financial advisor and my football coach or my basketball coach being good at golf. That means they're not in office enough.
This is great. We thought we would have a little fun with some other games, Charles, because the whole reason that ESPN's College Game Day has a guest picker today is because you started the tradition back in 2004 in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
When you said that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but it's a train
It's
coming
a train
down the track.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was walking around on the field, I saw those little Tennessee players, and I saw those big old strong Auburn dudes. I'm like, damn, Tennessee's got an ass whooping coming. I was like, but because you can do, when you walk around, sometimes you see like, yeah, those dudes are bigger than those dudes. Yeah. And I said, Auburn's going to kill these little dudes. And
You're right.
It was over quickly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ronnie killed a guy on the first drive.
Right. Hey, listen, let me tell you something.
Ran through the guy.
It was motivation.
Ronnie is one of my favorite people, him and Jason. They're 2 of my favorite people who ever went to Auburn. Every time I see them, it's like a family reunion. I mean that sincerely. Listen,
there's your a head fan.
Trust me, I'm not cocky enough to walk around with a head on the stick, y'all.
I tell you what, a lot of that motivation came because, he was about the only one that picked us on that day to win.
That's right.
Yeah.
In Tennessee. So when Charles Barkley picks you to win, you kind of got a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
You
Man,
make them nervous with them
I
guarantees.
tell you something. First of all, this is painful for me to say. I came here 40 years ago.
Wow.
A little over 40, actually.
Dang, you getting old.
I am. I'm a grandpa now.
Congratulations,
wow.
everybody.
I know.
How about that?
Shout out to little Henry. It's the greatest thing ever happened to me in my life, having a grandson. So proud of my daughter and her husband. But, man, little Henry, man. And it's crazy because Ernie and Clark Kellogg, 2 guys, I love Ernie and I love Clark. And they says, yo, man, when you have a grandbaby, it's going to change your life. And I'm not emotional. I don't get excited about much. But, man, this little dude, I told you, if I love him. My daughter's like, Dad, you never ask about me anymore. You ask about how's little Henry doing. I was like, I love you too. Not as much as I do Henry.
How old is Henry now, Charles?
6 months today.
Today?
Yes. Yeah. 6 months today. But it's the greatest thing ever happened to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but let me tell you guys something. And Penn State, I want to thank y'all for something. I didn't get to go to the game last year. And they said, my Auburn family said, you guys were amazing. So thank you to the Penn State fans. But my Penn State friends were so excited to come down to Auburn this weekend. And you know what I told them? I said, there's nothing like a weekend at Auburn football. So, hey, my Auburn family, every time I come down here for a game, it's so awesome and special. We got one of the best universities in the world. And, guys, just have a great time. Now, it's a very interesting game because both of us scared to death. Because neither one of us got zero idea what's going to happen today. We have zero idea how good we are, and Penn State has zero idea how good they are. So we're both flying blind today. But because of the Auburn crowd, we're going to win this thing by a field goal.
Hello.
I like it.
There's your pick.
There's
the pick.
Yes.
Let me tell you now. Yeah, we're supposed to pick games in this segment. We'll just say to heck with it and let you know that.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
I'm the fool who just called my bookie like an hour and a half ago and took Georgia. No, I took South Carolina and 24. What an idiot I am. I was like,
well, just so you know, Georgia got about 24 now.
I know. I was like, I'm not feeling really good. I'm like, they're gonna score at least, right? Yeah, I felt really good about taking South Carolina in 24.
Yeah, you didn't.
I don't feel good about it now.
Before the second quarter.
I know.
Well, it was a home game.
Stop the game. Stop the game.
What's your big game today that you, outside of Auburn, Penn State? Like, what's the one that has you nervous?
You know, this is so stupid. I'm trying to figure out why Nebraska was only getting 10 points, 10 and a half actually. So I bet the house on Nebraska. First of all, they should have been at least a 4 touchdown favorite. Underdog.
Yeah.
And I'm like, 10 and a half? And I was like, they know something because casinos are never wrong. Trust me, I've been to plenty of casinos. I says, why in the world? They fired their coach last week. You know, Oklahoma is balling, but they're only getting 10 points. But, hey, listen, that's why they call it gambling.
Have you seen a score on that game?
What score?
I'm trying to find it.
It's 28-7 Oklahoma right
So you're saying we got a chance. Wait, see, that's why you don't know anything. It's 28-17.
No, you're right.
Okay. Okay.
You're exactly right. Charles Barkley, ladies and gentlemen, one more time.
Hey, guys, thank y'all for supporting Redmont. And thanks, Auburn, for making Redmont the official vodka. Thank you very much.
War Eagle, Charles.
War Eagle.
What a first hour of the Tiger Tailgate Show. Lots more to come in the second hour. More special guests, former players from different decades. It's going to be off the charts today inside Jordan-Hare Stadium. Auburn and Penn State. Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Thank you, Auburn, for over 40 years of business. Since day one at Guthrie's, we've been serving up the best golden fried chicken fingers, hand-chopped coleslaw, crinkle-cut fries, and our signature Guthrie sauce. Often imitated, never duplicated. We have 4 Auburn locations to serve you, including South College and our downtown location off East Glen Avenue, which is open until 3 a.m. every night. Fresh, hot, and fast. That's the Guthrie's promise. To find the nearest Guthrie's to you, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
At Auburn, we believe in work, hard work. That's why we believe in the Ford F-150 truck and love it. With the available smart tech you need, plus a choice of 7 available engines, delivering premium grade muscle and impressive power numbers, F-150 can help you tackle whatever the day brings. This is head coach Brian Harsin. Check out the official truck of the Auburn Tigers at your local Ford dealer today. War Eagle.
Auto models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
Saturdays in the South mean football and outdoor projects. And like an all-American lineup, nothing works harder or better than quality John Deere equipment. So get to Sun South, where it's more affordable than ever to own the best equipment available. Plus, discover our new selection of John Deere compact construction equipment, perfect for larger projects. Think Sun South, with 21 locations throughout the Southeast, or shop online at sunsouth.com. Sun South, proud to be the preferred tractor of the Auburn Tigers.
As a coach, you don't just put any player on the line. You've got to make the right choice and recruit the right people. Train them, give them experience, and coach them up so they're ready when you call. I'm Kenny Mullins for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613. And that's how we feel about our electricians. Our electricians are recruited, educated, and trained on the job to become the top 1% of electricians anywhere. So we're ready when you call. Make the right choice. Hire IBEW electricians. Learn more at IBEW613.org.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Well, that was wild. Charles Barkley on the stage here on the Tiger Tailgate Show. We did not get a chance to pick any games, and that's okay with everybody. But Guthrie's does sponsor that feature every week. So we do want to remind you that Guthrie's thanks the Auburn family for over 40 years of business. Since day one, fresh, hot, and fast has always been the Guthrie's promise. And to find the nearest Guthrie's to you, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com. All right, scores in the SEC. 3 games going on right now, none of them particularly intriguing at this point. Georgia shutting out South Carolina 21-0. They're late in the first half in Columbia. Missouri is Auburn's next opponent. Brady Cook with a touchdown pass, and Missouri leads Abilene Christian 17-3 late in the second quarter in Como. And number 9, Kentucky is shutting out Youngstown State. That's 14-0 late in the second quarter in Lexington. Top 25 action outside the SEC. Only a couple of games going on there. 4th-ranked Michigan blanking UConn 31-zip. 6th-ranked Oklahoma leads Nebraska 28-7 in Lincoln. And 17th-ranked Baylor doubling up Texas State late in the first half, 14-7. It's time for the StubHub move of the game. Here's how it works. If you have upper deck seats, you're wearing Auburn gear, and you're willing to go in the stadium in the next 15-20 minutes, come to our stage here on campus across from the Cam Newton statue and find the StubHub sign. It's directly in front of the stage. And if you are the first person to do that, you could be our StubHub move of the game winner. That means we'll take you from those upper deck seats into seats in the lower bowl. What a phenomenal deal that is from the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Auburn Athletics, our friends at StubHub. Hour number 2 of the Tiger Tailgate Show. It begins with national champion kicker Wes Byrum in 2 minutes. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
It's homecoming week on the Plains. Join us back at home in Jordan-Hare Stadium on Saturday, September 24th at 11 a.m. for the homecoming game versus Missouri. Tickets are still available. To purchase, visit aubtix.com or call the ticket office at 1-855-AUB-2010. That's the 2022 Auburn football homecoming game versus Missouri on Saturday, September 24th at 11 a.m. Buy your tickets today. Whoa, Regal.
Hi, I'm Capri, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the chicken. They actually put it on the grill, cooked it in the sauce. It's definitely a good grilled spicy sandwich.
Hey, I'm Michelle, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is it's spicy and it's full of flavor. When you pair that with the Kale Crunch Salad, it's just good.
Order a grilled spicy deluxe sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Are you looking to advance your career without putting your life on hold? Consider the flexibility of an online MBA at Auburn University's Harvard College of Business. Ranked among the nation's best by U.S. News and World Report, our 100% online MBA program provides the flexibility you need to pursue a degree while maintaining your personal and professional life. Learn more at harvard.auburn.edu.
Children's of Alabama reminds you that every child's head injury should be treated like a serious injury until a doctor says it's not.
In fact, the CDC estimates some 4 million sports and recreation-related concussions occur each year. Even a minor fall or collision may be a concern. Symptoms typically include headaches, unsteadiness, confusion, or sleepiness. To find out what to do in case of a suspected concussion, visit childrensal.org/concussion and always dial 911 in case of an emergency.
Taking you neath the sun-kissed sky outside Jordan-Hare and across the SEC. It's time for another hour of the Tiger Tailgate Show presented by Conecuh Sausage. Conecuh Sausage is the official sausage and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Straight ahead, more special guests and matchup analysis as we move closer to kickoff. Here's Brad Law to start another hour of the Tiger Tailgate Show.
The student gates are open. We are just a little more than 2 hours away from kickoff between Auburn and Penn State, the first time a Big Ten team has ever come into Jordan-Hare Stadium, and plenty on the line today.
But
in
not
Game
the only
3.
Big Ten teams to play at Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Right. Okay.
Explain?
Yes.
Maryland has played here.
Yes.
So has Nebraska.
Just not as members of the Big Ten.
Just not as members of the Big Ten, right.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I should have been sharper there. But we're getting ready to start the second hour of the show.
Sorry, I cut you off.
He's the voice of
your show.
No, it's not. Voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham, Ronnie Brown, and joining us now. He kicked Auburn's game-winning field goal to win the national championship in January of 2011. Wes Byrum, welcome. War Eagle.
War Eagle, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
We had Wes yesterday on the Friday football line. He was a surprise guest.
Yeah?
We just called him up there yesterday. And you should have heard the questions and the ovation.
Oh,
for
I'm
a
sure.
kicker, for a kicker, Stan White, for a kicker.
Yeah, we didn't have Stan on
Beloved
this.
kicker.
We didn't have Stan on this
There's a
segment.
reason for that.
Yeah. What was that like for you, Wes? How about that experience yesterday?
It was fantastic. It's always great to come back. I know I said this last night or yesterday afternoon. Every time I come back, it's like coming home. And it's amazing to get to come back here, see the community, see the fans, be a part of Auburn and everything that Auburn is. It's just an amazing thing.
You were the #1 kicker coming out of high school in Fort Lauderdale. What was it about Auburn? What got you to the Plains?
The visit.
Yeah.
Honestly, I came. I had other places in Florida, UF I was looking at. I really wanted to get an offer from them just from being in Florida. Came to Auburn, absolutely fell in love with it. Couldn't imagine my life without coming here. So absolutely love being here. The people, the fan base, the coaches, everything just fit along with what I wanted. I looked at 3 things that I wanted out of school or going to college. 1, where could I grow the most and develop the characteristics of being a man? 2, where could I potentially win a national championship? And 3, where would put me at the best spot to potentially play next level? And Auburn had hit all 3 of those for me.
Yeah, Wes, as you talk about that, I mean, I got a question. Just going back to the national championship experience, because Jason and I never got the experience of that. What was that moment like going into play for a national championship game and then you being essentially the one to win the game for the team? Like, what does that feel like? What is that moment? What is that a moment of pressure? Like, how do you prepare for that?
Practice. And I know you know how this is. You practice, you put it all in, you put the work in ahead of time, but for that specific moment, it was surreal. It was unlike anything else to have years of practicing and putting in all the hard work in the off season, all the things the guys don't see, all the things people don't see, all the two-a-days, the hours and hours at the facility, doing everything you can, everybody with the goal of winning your conference, then winning the national championship, to have it all come together in one last moment and know, hey, we're going to walk on this field, we're going to do what we do, and we're going to walk off national champions. It was absolutely amazing.
It says a lot that everybody that we talked to from that 2010 team says to a man, as soon as we got the ball placed, we knew, like we started internally celebrating because Wes just didn't miss. Like it wasn't going to happen. So the way that you establish that reputation by your work ethic and your consistency, they all knew. You had the entire team behind you as you got set to make that kick.
Definitely an amazing feeling, and that's one thing with kickers. It's hard because we're not practicing the same way as everybody else. These guys are out doing 2 a day. Sometimes we're off in the bubble. Nobody really knows what we're doing in there. It's not as difficult. So you really, productivity and what you show on the field is really where you get your respect. And I was fortunate enough to come in and be put in a situation with the team, and that I could show that they could count on me and I could be dependable. And it was an amazing time.
And as you talk about that experience, so for myself yesterday at the luncheon, I learned something that I didn't know, and I'm sure many people out here didn't know. In preparation for those moments, to kick the ball maybe 3 to 7 times a game, how many times do you kick the ball into the net before you actually go out there and do that actual thing?
Way too many times, actually. Looking back on it, I probably kicked north of 100 times between pregame warm-up and then throughout the game getting ready, because, every time we're close to field goal range, I'm in the net, I'm kicking. Sometimes we don't end up kicking a field goal, we take a sack, something happens where we end up punting, whatever it may be. But I'm just in the net over and over again. So, you would think, even in games where not a lot of field goals or just, some extra points, it was a light day for me, but I was in the net literally the entire game.
And what are you looking for? Like, what's the feel? Because I spin on the golf range, I hit 1,000 balls, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to hit the ball straight when I go out here. In the first hole, I hit it in the water, and I'm like, that didn't work out as good. So what are you what's the feeling that you get? Like,
confession time for Ronnie on the show.
It's actually very similar to golf. And, it's tough because you'll see the outcome. You'll be on the range hitting, and then that first one off the tee box, you can feel it. But you also can feel when you hit a nice golf shot, and you know it. Before you pick your head up, I just striped that, and it's going. So that's similar in kicking. You just know when it leaves your foot that it's on path.
Here's one thing I learned yesterday. Your freshman year at Florida, the 2 field goals, one that counted, one that didn't, that won that game, the Gator Chomp, you didn't plan that.
No, I did not. Kind of a blackout moment. Just adrenaline takes over, pure excitement, and next thing you know, I'm on the middle of the 50-yard line. I do it twice and head right back to my sideline because not trying to get it close over there to their side.
See you later, alligator. That was Roddy's famous call.
So how does that go over with what you're doing now? Like, so I guess to kind of not get ahead of anyone else, but, in going back, you're a South Florida guy, going back, what are you doing now? And do you ever get any of those conversations to come up with the old Gator Chomp?
So I do get those conversations. Currently now for work, I'm a prosecutor in Broward County. I handle first-degree felonies, mostly violent crimes, and am now starting to handle homicides. So it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's been a lot. An amazing journey, and it's nice to be able to help the community. It was one of those things, and I know I'm kind of getting off topic here, but one of those things where when you're playing here at football, you feel like you have an impact on the community. You're in tune with the community. You can go back. You can give back. And when I left college, I had a little bit of a gap there, did pharmaceutical sales, and then I was missing that, community-based aspect. So went to law school, and now that I'm at the state attorney's office, I'm really feeling like I'm giving back to the community. So I know I didn't answer the question.
No, that's perfect.
That way,
You got family here today, Wes?
I do. My lovely, lovely wife is right here in the front. We just got married in May, so
wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And you didn't get off topic. The topic was you. We appreciate you stopping by today. Enjoy the game, War Eagle.
I appreciate it, War Eagle. Thank you for having me.
All right, Auburn great kicker Wes Byrum with us here on the Tiger Tailgate Show, and we're starting to see the crowd flow this way. We know Tiger Walk has just ended, and or is ending now, and man, the scene. Just a little bit down the way at the corner of Heisman Drive and Donahue. The Tiger Walk Report is presented by Hibbett and City Gear. They have all the hottest brands for you, Nike, Adidas, Jordan, and more, including all the latest releases. Check out a Hibbett or City Gear store near you or visit Hibbett.com. Hibbett, a proud supporter of Auburn football. The Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Know what's nice? You could drive to Whataburger right now if you wanted to. Yeah, you could hang a Louie, talk to Reggie at the counter, and get a freshly made 100% beef double meat Whataburger with melted cheese and fresh cut veggies on a 5-inch bun. It's just the delicious freedom you have living in the land where there's Whataburger. Of course, some people aren't in that land. Wonder what they're doing right now. probably thinking about a road trip. Whataburger, just like you like it.
Toyota presents How Far Did They Drive? In the 2003 Citrus Bowl, Auburn had been shut out by Penn State through 3.5 quarters. The Tigers drove the ball all the way to the 1-yard line and elected to go for it on 4th and goal.
3 tight ends for Auburn. Here is a give to Brown. Brown blasts off the right side. He's in. Touchdown, Auburn! Ronnie Brown. It took him 4 tries, but he finally got it in there. Ronnie Brown on the handoff from Campbell. Just blasted in. Following his blocking behind Nowlin, Crittenden, and McNeil.
The 13-play drive covered 74 yards in 6 minutes and 48 seconds. Auburn would get another Ronnie Brown rushing touchdown late in the fourth quarter to clinch the 2003 Citrus Bowl 13-9 over Penn State. Visit your local Toyota dealer or go to Toyota.com today. No matter your destination, Toyota goes with you. Toyota, let's go places.
The Edward Via College of Osteopathic Medicine in Auburn is dedicated to its mission of transforming medical students into caring, compassionate physicians. VCOM partners with Auburn University for student activities, shared learning experiences, and research opportunities. Students are instructed in a hands-on learning environment by outstanding faculty members that are dedicated to student success. VCOM is working to improve the health of Alabama's citizens by increasing the number of primary care physicians throughout the state, especially in rural and underserved areas. Find out more at vcom.edu.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Brad Law and Stan White with you outside Jordan-Hare Stadium as we count you down to Auburn and Penn State. You know, Wes Byrum, it's not Charles Barkley, even though, Stan's holding up the sign there. Wes talking about kicking being similar to playing golf. Tell us about it, because you're a golfer, right?
Yeah.
Sorta?
I have not played in a while, but yes, I used to play quite a bit.
Yeah. What's the best? What was your best golf experience of all time? I leave that wide open. That could be best course, best game.
I've never had a hole-in-one. I've come close. My best round I've shot was probably a 74-ish. I think 74. It was several years ago. The most famous place I've ever played was Wingfoot up in New York, White Plains area in New York, Westchester, up there. Wingfoot, where I think Davis Love III may have won a U.S. Open there. They've had several U.S. Opens there, I believe, before. So that's probably the most famous golf course I've ever played. One of my favorites is Farm Links, right up the road here in Sylacauga, Alabama. Just phenomenal. I've played Shoal Creek before in Birmingham. They've had several PGA events there. But yeah, I've played some good ones. I've shot some good rounds and some bad rounds as well.
Well, I mean, I asked your best. What was your worst?
Oh, yeah. Well, it involves 3 numbers. I've done a little bit. I got to play one in South Florida with some guys. You'll know Terrell Buckley Jr., T-Buck. He and I played together for the Dolphins for a little while. Played the Grand Floridian down there. Was owned by Wayne Huizinga. That was a good time. Had a good round that day. Took a few dollars from him.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
But it was a good time.
Good stuff. Talking golf with Stan White here as we get you ready for Auburn and Penn State. The guests continue in 2 minutes, by the way. We had Wes Byrum, who's working in the legal field. Our next guest is in the legal field as well. Ben Obomanu in 2 minutes. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
The Auburn Football Review is your source for highlights, locker room interviews, special features, and more. For decades, the Auburn Football Review has been appointment viewing for Auburn fans throughout the Southeast. Join Andy Burcham each week as he visits with head coach Brian Harsin to get his immediate take on the game. Check your local listings or auburntigers.com for when and how to watch the Auburn Football Review.
Hey, Auburn fans. It's time to stretch those legs and reach for another bag of Golden Flake. Home or away, with family or friends, you know no game day is complete without your favorite snack. So enjoy Golden Flake or any of our other delicious snacks from the Utz family of brands and sit back for the rest of the game. Golden Flake and Auburn football, a winning team. Simple, Southern goodness, Golden Flake. Celebrating 65 years as the official salty snack of the Auburn Tigers.
Take it to the house this football season with the Alabama Manufactured Housing Association and the Auburn Tigers. If Auburn returns its first received kickoff in the second half for a touchdown at one of its home SEC games, one lucky fan will win a $75,000 down payment towards the purchase of a manufactured home from an authorized AMHA dealer. Don't miss your chance to take it to the house this season and win a beautiful manufactured home. Register today at auburntigers.com/takeittothehouse. Certain terms and conditions may apply. For a complete set of contest rules, visit auburntigers.com/takeittothehouse.
When you see the SEC student athlete, it's easy to picture the swing, the stance, the form. But look closer, and you'll see the heart, the brain, the clutch lab partner, the avid two-stepper, the pride of a hometown, and a little brother's hero. More than students, more than athletes. In the SEC, it just means more.
And welcome back to the Tiger Tailgate Show. A tremendous crowd today. It's been a fun show already, and it's going to continue now with Ronnie Brown, Stan White, Jason Campbell. I'm Brad Law. T.D. Moultry was a member of the Tiger team up until last season. He finally exhausted his eligibility, but not before. He played in 59 games for the Tigers. That is an Auburn record. T.D., welcome, and War Eagle to you.
How you doing, War Eagle?
TD, this is, it's interesting. We had Chandler Wooten on the show a couple of weeks ago, and it's interesting to get the perspective of guys who were just a part of the team last season.
Right.
How do you, like, what's the experience like for you as you're back on campus now, knowing how close you've been to it?
You just had to be.
We'll just get it a little closer. All right.
You got to just be disciplined in everything you do. The league was different. Learning in college was the most important thing, so even though it took me like 4 years, but them 4 years, it molded me into like learning so much, like on and off the field, and being a man on and off the field, and just seeing different things in different perspectives. So now that I got wavered from a team because I got hurt, not because of my problem.
Yeah.
I know how to handle it now. So it was just a lot of stuff from college and the league. College helps like a mental standpoint.
TD, as the old guy now that you used to call me on the sideline, so now that you're the old guy coming back, like, what did the Auburn experience mean to you, like, as a football? Because a lot of times we're in it and we can't wait to get out of it to see what's next. But now that you look back and you reflect on your time here at Auburn, like, what did it mean? What did that experience, and how did it help you grow?
It made me grow a lot. I enjoyed the process as well, because with this process, it helped me be a better man. So the process, I don't know, it just, you got to enjoy it while it's here, because the league, not for long. It's not for everybody. I know I can play in the league. A lot of guys know they can play in the league, but it's 53-man rosters and 6-man practice squads. So just learning that and just being real about that, just, I don't know, just it helped me being on the sideline and finally getting the opportunity to play my senior year. My 5th year was I think that's probably the best thing that ever happened to me.
Talk about the camaraderie of being in a college locker room and then in the locker room a bunch of NFL guys, and the difference aspect of it, how they see things. Because on Saturday it's all about the game, but in the pros it's about game. But then you don't have school, so you go home and take care of family.
Right. So on college, you just playing football. But if you mess up on the plays, like, okay, you got me. Like okay, don't mess up again in college. Like, you can mess up 5 times and nobody get mad. You mess up 1 time in the league, you mess up another guy's play check, you messing up another chance for him to feed his family. So just the guy, it's just so much different, because you have to be like disciplined. You have to know your shit. You have to do everything accordingly. I'm sorry for cussing, but that's just the truth. You got to know your shit.
Yeah. All right. That's why we got an edit man right here.
Exactly. Hey, all right, TD, I'm gonna rewind back to a sore subject, but it's probably a picture you've seen all over the internet. Last drive in the end zone. Did you get held?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Stan went there.
I mean, it was pretty clear that you got held, right?
Yeah. It was so crazy. The guy that helped me, he played tackle, even though he wasn't a true tackle. In college, they played him there. But what's so crazy, me and him got drafted to the Steelers, and they put him to guard. And I always knew he was a guard, but on that play, I didn't know I got hit until I watched it on film. My wife told me, my mom told me, my dad told me.
Did he own up to it, at least?
He told me, like, bro, I did hold you on that play. I don't think I would have made the play, but he did hold me on that play, though.
Oh, well, that's a safety if that's a holding.
That's a safety, exactly right.
That's a safety.
Yeah.
And now being the old guy, like, again, you know, the guy that's left, had this experience. So looking back, talking to these young guys, some of your former teammates, some of the guys that you know very well, like, what would be your message to these guys out here and understanding the opportunity, but understanding, like, how important it is to enjoy these moments?
Oh, yeah, like you said, you got to enjoy these moments and cherish it because you'll never get it back again. It's hard because everybody, it's all about when you're doing something, it's me. Like, even when you mess up, it's me. So just learning that, I don't know, it's just really hard because everybody, when you love Auburn love you back, and I just say just love the game and connect well and just being a great person and lead you a long way.
Yeah. TD Moultry is our guest here on the Tiger Tailgate Show. Last year was really a breakout year. You seemed to flourish and thrive under this new coaching staff and the direction of the defense. Talk a little about that. What was the key last year to being such a productive season for you?
Stop at self-inflicted wounds, late to mentoring, late to class, late to a coaching meeting, late to just, TD, I want to talk to you at 5:30. Don't be there at 5:35. Just being intentional about everything I do. So, and what's so crazy, when you do and be intentional about your schoolwork, the field work take care of itself. I also focus at sometimes it's on football that my classwork wouldn't even go well, or my life wouldn't even go well. My past relationships, they didn't go well. Like, nothing went well because everything aligned to each other. So once you do right follow.
Yeah. And as you talk about relationships, obviously you just mentioned, you know, and I said it yesterday, people need people, right? Like, talk about how important it is, you know, for your wife who's supporting you now, like, to have that backing, to have that support.
Having that, it actually settles you down. So before I met her, I was trying to get my life with Christ better, and it was going well. Some days it'd be off, but when I met her, it was just a different vibe. So then we worked on celibacy. So before we got married, we did celibacy like 4 months before getting married. So that actually helped me, like, okay, this is what I want to do, open the Bible, because it's not what you see or hear about the word. It's about what you get from the word. And from the word is, it's worse not knowing the word than knowing the word and not doing the word.
Right.
So when I got closer with the word and everything in my life, it just aligned to with each other. And my peace aligned with, even with my peace, like, I don't let nobody destroy my peace because I just cut you off because my peace is very valuable right now. And some people, most definitely as men, we don't know how to have peace. We don't know how to control anger. So, and not trying to be that a man that don't know how to control his anger, don't know how to have peace, don't know how to talk to his wife or his family when things going on. So I learned a lot just through that stage right there.
TD, Ronnie's calling you old a while ago. You do have a lot of old wisdom. And I do think it's great that you shared that because not a lot of guys, you know, they wouldn't share anything like that because they think it's not cool. Yeah. But the fact that you did that just shows your maturity and your aspect of life. And that's what we need more of in this world and more young men like yourself. So continue to do what you're doing and continue to move forward because you a person like you help make this world a better place.
Yeah.
Well said. Both of you, well said. No doubt. TD, before we let you go, got about a minute left. You played in this game last year up in State College. What do you expect out of the Auburn defense today against Penn State?
I expect them to do their best. I expect them flying around like they did last year. Not this season. We just expect to finish.
Yeah. Finish
just
the job.
Just finish.
TD, really appreciate you stopping by. Enjoy the game. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
All right. Yes, TD Moultry,
Thank you.
former Tigers standout on defense with us here, and the TD Moultry fan club is out there as well. It is growing by the day. Really good stuff from TD Moultry. Hey, are you looking for a great deal? Well, Jack's has daily specials on all your favorites. Milkshake Mondays, Tenders Tuesdays, French Fridays, and more. Save every day of the week at eatatjacks.com. Stay with us. The Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Hey, Auburn fans. It's time to stretch those legs and reach for another bag of Golden Flake. Home or away, with family or friends, you know no game day is complete without your favorite snack. So enjoy Golden Flake or any of our other delicious snacks from the Utz family of brands and sit back for the rest of the game. Golden Flake and Auburn football, a winning team. Simple, Southern goodness, Golden Flake. Celebrating 65 years as the official salty snack of the Auburn Tigers.
Saturdays in the South mean football and outdoor projects. And like an all-American lineup, nothing works harder or better than quality John Deere equipment. So get to Sun South, where it's more affordable than ever to own the best equipment available. Plus, discover our new selection of John Deere compact construction equipment, perfect for larger projects. Think Sun South, with 21 locations throughout the Southeast, or shop online at sunsouth.com. Sun South, proud to be the preferred tractor of the Auburn Tigers.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm your friend's lucky jersey that's never been washed, and I'm stanking up the back seat, overpowering all of your senses, so you don't see the brake lights up ahead. And if you have cut rate car insurance, you're going to be all out of luck. So switch to Allstate, save $744, and get protected from mayhem like me.
Average annual savings of new customers surveyed in 2021 who reported auto savings when switching to Allstate. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Working unsafely around underground utilities could put you at risk for outages, injury, and loss of life. Don't risk it. Alabama 811 plays a vital role in taking the request to have the underground utilities marked. It's free, it's simple, it's the law. Visit al811.com for more info.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Brad Law and Jason Campbell with you. We've got Ben Obomanu coming up just about 4 minutes from now. I'm looking forward to listening to that. I'll head up to the booth, but we'll look forward to hearing that. Jason, what is the furthest distance you have ever gone to play golf?
Furthest distance? Ooh.
Well, I asked Stan about his golf experiences, so I got to ask you too.
Yeah, I'll probably say 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, you know,
Four?
I like golf. I hadn't been able to golf the last 8 months, though, because I had to get a knee treatment, but,
yeah.
You know, I can still beat you.
Well, yeah, it's not competitive. I didn't mean to make it competitive. Lord, I get a haircut and you got to pile on about that. Well, you know what's more than 4 hours away? London is more than 4 hours away. I know that. And we know that our good friend D. Ford is listening to the show today from overseas. So welcome, D, War Eagle, and we're glad that you're tuned in. I wonder how many other people might be listening or maybe watching on Facebook or YouTube from further away than that. Probably not many.
Probably way off in Germany.
Probably. I think we have some people there.
We got people worldwide. Auburn family is everywhere. When I played in the NFL, no matter what city we was in, there was Auburn people out there. So
Eric Keesaw said the same thing on Tiger Talk Thursday. So they go on recruiting visits everywhere he goes. Every airport, you get a War Eagle.
Yeah, you get a War Eagle. It's like you walk through the airport, someone holler at War Eagle. Someone look at you like, why do they say War Eagle? I say, well, it's the code word for Auburn family, you know.
It's like aloha. It means hello. Right. It means goodbye. It means nice shirt. Everything. So you said that when you were playing, you tried to talk the coaches into orange jerseys, right?
Right.
You want to tell? Well, no, goodness, we'd let you tell more about
I did.
That,
we should have wore orange jerseys one time a year with some orange shoes.
All right. That's Jason Campbell, and we're going to have more on the Tiger Tailgate Show in 2 minutes. This is the Auburn Sports Network. When we say we're an everything school, we mean it. Since 1872, Auburn University graduates from the College of Agriculture and the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering have built on the land-grant mission to drive economic development, improve quality of life, promote social well-being, and enhance national security. Celebrating 150 years, come see why Auburn's College of Agriculture and Ginn College of Engineering continue to be pillars of the past, pioneers of the present, and foundations for the future. Visit auburn.edu.
Here with This Week in Auburn Athletics. Volleyball will play its third match in 2 days, tonight at the Jacksonville State Invite, to close out its non-conference schedule before the start of SEC play at Alabama next weekend. Number 23, Auburn Soccer, fell in its SEC opener on the road at Missouri. The Tigers will be back in action for another road SEC match on Thursday against Arkansas, with kickoff scheduled for 6 Central. Men's golf earned its first victory of the season at the Maui Gym Intercollegiate, shooting a program record 45 under during the 54-hole event. Junior Ryan Eshelman broke the individual 18-hole record with a 10 under 60 in round 1 of the tournament. Eshelman finished tied for 8th. Cross-country race at the North Alabama Showcase yesterday, with the women finishing in 4th place and the men finishing in 6th. Men's tennis, women's tennis, and women's golf will all be in action away from Auburn this week. To view full schedules and more information, Visit auburntigers.com. For This Week in Auburn Athletics, I'm Jacob Hillman. War Eagle.
Thank you, Auburn, for over 40 years of business. Since day one at Guthrie's, we've been serving up the best golden fried chicken fingers, hand-chopped coleslaw, crinkle-cut fries, and our signature Guthrie sauce. Often imitated, never duplicated. We have 4 Auburn locations to serve you, including South College and our downtown location off East Glen Avenue, which is open until 3 a.m. every night. Fresh, hot, and fast. That's the Guthrie's promise. To find the nearest Guthrie's to you, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
Final half hour of the Tiger Tailgate Show outside Jordan-Hare Stadium. Have a change up here on stage. Britt Bowen here hosting now along with Jason Campbell, Ronnie Brown, and we welcome Ben Obomanu to the stage to join us here on the Tiger Tailgate Show. 4-year starter for Auburn, 7th round draft pick back in 06 by Seattle, and I think my favorite stat is he was the salutatorian at Selma High School. Ben, good. Thanks for joining us, War Eagle.
Hey, War Eagle, thanks for having me. I'm glad I still was able to make it. I thought I had missed the show and got caught up with some traffic, but I'm here, and I'm glad to be home.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I was 15 minutes late today, too. So Jason Campbell just told me to call you Obo. So his name is Smooth, and then I had somebody tell Ronnie Brown yesterday his name was Hummer, thanks to Cadillac. So, so we got some pretty good nicknames up here, right?
Hey, Obo was easier to say, I think, for everybody. That was a cheat code for everybody.
Oba, not Obomanu. See there? I almost got touched with. And Aroma should do. So, yeah, Obomanu and Aroma should do. So it's too many dudes.
All right.
So they just said Obo, and I was like, fine with me.
How often, I know on broadcast, because I was watching as a fan growing up, but how often, like at practice, did teammates and coaches get you and Aroma should do mixed up?
Hey, all the time. Now, we still got the same, like, personality, me and Devin. We still got the same personality, kind of same stature and build a little bit. We hung out. Devin may be a little bit taller, but, you know, I don't know. They always got us mixed up just because, and we were number 1 and number 2. So it's like we made it hard on everybody by being so closely related.
Well, see, being a lawyer now, so we always knew that he was he was one of those super smart guys, you know, so we have to worry about him. We know he's going to turn out to be really good.
But see, that's a good and a bad thing, though, right? When everybody knows that everybody on the team's coming to you for homework, like hey, man, like let's get the same classes together, right?
Well, it's rare that you get some people that dispel the myth of athletes aren't that intelligent. You got a salutatorian, really good receiver, so he was the guy that's like, hey, we got to put him on the front lines. And so obviously he's been able to go on, and you know he's an attorney now, and so you know I think he helps, and I think it's always good to have that guy too, that not only a really good football player but also keeps the GPA of the football team up pretty high. So he was always a guy that, you know, we looked at because he was always going to do the right thing. You talk about character, integrity, purpose, understanding. You talk about intellectual property. It's just he checked all of those boxes, and so you know it's no surprise that he's going on to continue to do well. But you know I do need to ask him while he's here. So in getting, you know, and going to law school, where'd you go to school? Like, what
grad school? Yeah, where'd you go grad?
What encouraged that decision?
Listen, I think we all growing up, we all had those aspirations to make it to the NFL, right?
Right.
But then we all have been taught, especially, you know, some of us used to have our head on right when we first come into college, of having your degree and having something else to fall back on. We've all seen teammates from high school to college that made it to the NFL, and even those that didn't make it, you know, their career ended at some point. And he had to find something else to do. So a lot of my friends, my inspiration for law school was my best friend went to Tuskegee. We went to high school together. He went to Tuskegee, came to Auburn, and we had a plan that, hey, we're going to be lawyers. Yeah. Fortunately, I made it to the NFL. He went straight to law school. And so the whole time I was playing has always been, hey, are you still going to go to law school? Are you still going to go? So I've had that motivation from him. My family just said, hey, this is your other goal that you always had in mind. Make sure that, you know, while you're playing, put things in place that you still can achieve that goal. And that's where the inspiration came from.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so, and talking about that, right? Like, so now, you know, obviously college football is changing with the whole NIL, all of those things. And so I think to some degree we lose the understanding of why we get these scholarships and the importance of why you need to have something to fall back on build on that. Like, talk about what kept you so grounded and why it's important for these young men who are going to fill this stadium up today to have something and understanding to fall back on, because this game doesn't last forever.
You think about it, those guys, I'm fortunate enough to be from the state of Alabama too. So to be able to come back home and go to Selma, to still have ties to come back to Auburn and have family and friends and connections, that meant a lot to me. And to come and play 4 years at a university and give all you can on the field and get nothing in return, that would be unfortunate, right? And I think that's what we try to instill in these guys that are still playing, even today, both teams. You're going to these big colleges and going to these institutions and doing a great work, and now you're getting your NIL deals. But at the same time, make sure you prepare yourself, man. There are teachers, professionals, alumni that have careers that you aspire to attain one day. Make sure that you make the most of your 4-year career, not just be football only. Make sure you put some seeds and sow some seeds that you can have a good, illustrious career post your playing days too.
Ben, can you bring some of that, that technology and all that energy and smartness, back home? You living out in Seattle.
Oh yeah.
Enjoying life out there. And talk about some of your favorite times that you enjoyed when you was here at Auburn.
Favorite time playing with you guys, right? We had a good squad, so I think the best thing that I have living out in Seattle. When people say, there's an Auburn, Washington, too, by the way. So a lot of times, some of the people up there say, Auburn, there's Auburn, Washington down the street. Like, no, Auburn University. Like, make sure you know where we're coming from. But the thing is, when I mention the team I played for, they always say, hey, you was on an undefeated team, right? And Cadillac and Ronnie Brown and Jason Campbell and Devin Aramachudu. So they know all these names, Karlos Rogers. So I think that's been the biggest thing is that I play with a generation of Auburn alumni, Auburn football players that all went off and did some really great things and still doing great things. And so that was probably my greatest moment, is to go back in, look at highlights. I got 2 young girls. They weren't, born when I was playing in the NFL either. So they love going to YouTube and looking at videos and saying, hey, so who is it, Jason Campbell? That's your quarterback? It's not Russell Wilson? I was like, no, my first quarterback, my guy is Jason Campbell, right? So I think those were the biggest memories for me, is to come back and share, come home to see familiar faces and friends, but also to know that I'm connected to you guys, to some superstars.
All right, 2-part question for you. So being in Seattle, I got to ask, because I've never been to Seattle outside of playing, have you thrown the fish? Have you gone to the market to throw the fish?
Catch the fish.
Catch the fish.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can throw it. I probably can't throw it back because they're pretty good, but catching the fish. It's kind of cool thing. So if you ever go to Seattle, make sure you go to Pike Place Market. You go down there. You see it on TV all the time with them throwing the fish and everything. It's cool.
Yeah. Have you been to the gum wall too? Because it's
gum
close
wall
by.
is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's disgusting, but you got to go to the gum wall. It's cool places. I tell you what though, catching a fish is a lot harder than catching a football. You would expect. I needed gloves. I needed something else because it's slippery, it's slimy, and you get all the stuff on you when you catch it. But it's cool. It's a cool thing to do.
And second part of that question is, you and I had a couple conversations. Being far out west of, in Washington, that's a big difference from some Selma.
Yep.
Like, what do we need to do to get you back on this side of town?
My wife is from Seattle. You guys need to follow her on social media and kind of put some bugs in her ear. Say,
I give up now. I already give up.
No, she's willing. My wife, she always jokes. She went to HBCU. She went to Tennessee State in Nashville. Okay. So we always come back home because it's like all our family and friends are down this way. I think, man, with the little kids I have now, as they get older, I'm definitely looking forward to coming back. This is home. I love being in the state. Love coming back and going to more games, not just one a year. And so hopefully sometime in the future you'll see more Ben Obomanu back on the plains.
Okay. And what are you doing in terms of attorney? Like, are you doing what you would like to do, or what's your aspirations for that field of work?
So right now I'm a real estate attorney. So we do real estate and finance. So some of your big commercial real estate buildings, some of your home builder finance, when you see
Ben, we need to talk.
I know. I'm telling you. I got a business.
You out here paying people for no reason. We need to talk.
You got to pay me. You got to pay me too, though.
Yeah,
like
we
billable hours.
Family though. We need a
discount. We need a discount.
Was it 98% discount?
We'll talk off it. But that's kind of what I do. The fun thing about being a real estate transactional attorney, I always thought about it, man. When we play football, the stress of the game, the nights after the game, worry about injuries and stand up leg, worried about hits and all that. It's been good to kind of go into a career where it's still high stakes, still kind of intensive a little bit, but we're all trying to get along. So the transactional world, as opposed to the litigation world, we still come in. We're all trying to get deals, all trying to get to the same point. So that's been a good thing for me, to be able to have a career that's in the legal space, but also get to physically see things being built as a lawyer.
Ben, before we go today, big game you'll see today in Jordan-Hare Stadium, Auburn hosting Penn State. Yep. Your prediction for today, what's the Tigers have to do to get a dub today?
We got to come out aggressive. I think, when you think about the way we start, especially with, T.J. Finley being the starting quarterback, I feel, as a receiver especially, let's take some shots down the field early. Open them up, kind of spread them back. The idea is that we, are going to try to put both our quarterbacks in positions to be successful. Short passes, get the ball out quick. But if we can take some play-action shots and go down the field, kind of spread the defense out, they'll open up the running game. They'll get the crowd in it. They'll get some confidence. And at the end of the day, I think you want to put Penn State in a position where, hey, our home field, the crowd noise, and the fact that we're coming out aggressive will really put us in a situation to come out with a W.
Ben, we could do this for 30 more minutes. Man, thanks for coming up on stage today. We appreciate it, War Eagle.
War Eagle, thanks, guys.
Yes, sir.
That is Tigers former receiver Ben Obomanu as the Tigers get ready to host Penn State. The Picks for Kids program is back for its 11th season. Chick-fil-A is donating $1,000 to Children of Alabama for every interception by the Auburn defense. The Picks for Kids program benefits more than 1,800 kids each month in the Hearing and Speech Center at Children's. War Eagle and Eat More Chicken. 2-minute drill coming up next. The Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Who out there likes chicken and eggs? Both are protein-packed and loaded with essential vitamins and minerals to keep you healthy and your immune system strong. Start your morning with a delicious omelet with all your favorite fix-ins. Or have some grilled chicken for dinner. Here in Alabama, we produce almost 500 million eggs a year. You just can't beat that. However you choose to enjoy chicken or eggs, remember, they're good for you and great for Alabama.
Recruiting plays a major role in team building. Recruiting also plays an important role in protecting my home from termites with Cook's Pest Control and the Centricon system. Termites eat the bait in the Centricon stations, then eagerly recruit other termites to also feed on the bait, thus eliminating the termite colony. You don't have to live with termites. Call Cook's Pest Control for a free quote.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
When we say we're an everything school, we mean it. Since 1872, Auburn University graduates from the College of Agriculture and the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering have built on the land-grant mission to drive economic development, improve quality of life, promote social well-being, and enhance national security. Celebrating 150 years, come see why Auburn's College of Agriculture and Ginn College of Engineering continue to be pillars of the past, pioneers of the present, and foundations for the future. Visit auburn.edu.
In 1925, Modelo began brewing beer for those who believe in better. A model beer, steeped in the tradition of tireless effort. A rich Pilsner-style lager for those who wear their heart and heritage on their rolled-up sleeve. Since our first batch to every bottle raised today, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters what you're made of. Modelo Especial, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Well, the popular topic of conversation this week, Ronnie Brown, was the color orange in orange jerseys. We've heard Jason Campbell's opinions of orange jerseys, so I have to ask, what did you want as a player when you played back in 04 and before?
You know, I mean, one of the big things for us were the black cleats. So we eventually talked Tuberville into allowing us to wear the black cleats and the black socks. So that was a win. But I always liked the orange jerseys. My favorite jersey when I played with the Dolphins was the orange jersey we wore on a Monday night. I really liked to mix it up. And so I think even with Auburn, I think it would be a great opportunity. I put a video this week on social media of my son running the ball. We're the Auburn Tigers, 4th grade. And everybody was like, oh, orange jerseys, because their jerseys are orange. And I had no idea what they were talking about.
Man, so you got to see your son, by the way, who had a heck of a highlight, by the way, for a game-winning touchdown. Tell us, what was that like to see him in that orange jersey score the game-winning touchdown this week?
Man, one, because we're in Georgia, we're in Atlanta, so all the teams are the Georgia Tech Jackets, and we got the Bulldogs, we got all the – so, of course, we had to beat the Auburn Tigers, but – I get so nervous watching because I want him to do so well. When my daughter does stuff, I want her to do well. And so I get nervous watching. So my hands are sweating and my back's sweating and just kind of looking at it. I have no control.
Some more pressure than when you played even in the league or at Auburn?
1,200%.
How do you handle that? Because, again, you have not one but two. Are you a pacer? Do you walk back and forth? How do you manage that?
Yeah, so for baseball games, I'll sit in the outfield, way in the back in the corner. Soccer, it's great because I don't know soccer rules, so I can sit over there. I don't know anything. Gymnastics, I don't know anything. So that's always good. But I just try not to say anything, but I just get nervous.
All right, Ronnie Brown, appreciate the input on the orange jerseys. Probably not today, but maybe in the near future. Coming up, game picks with Ronnie
Be
Brown
sure to
and
collect a piece
Jason
of
Campbell.
Auburn
This is the
history
Auburn
with
Sports
the
Network.
2022 Auburn Football Yearbook. Get your copy for just $10 in and around Jordan-Hare Stadium on game days. Special features include senior spotlights, opponent profiles, and introduction from University President Chris Roberts, plus game day information. Look for digital game programs before every game, home and away. And buy the Auburn Football Yearbook for just $10 in and around Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Recruiting plays a major role in team building. Recruiting also plays an important role in protecting my home from termites with Cook's Pest Control and the Centricon system. Termites eat the bait in the Centricon stations, then eagerly recruit other termites to also feed on the bait, thus eliminating the termite colony. You don't have to live with termites. Call Cook's Pest Control for a free quote.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp code, lesson 86. This is how you say, gee willikers, it's a hot one. Let's cool down with some Bud Lights. That's it for today. Bud Light, crisp.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Take it to the house this football season with the Alabama Manufactured Housing Association and the Auburn Tigers. If Auburn returns its first received kickoff in the second half for a touchdown at one of its home SEC games, one lucky fan will win a $75,000 down payment towards the purchase of a manufactured home from an authorized AMHA dealer. Don't miss your chance to take it to the house this season and win a beautiful manufactured home. Register today at auburntigers.com/takeittothehouse. Certain terms and conditions may apply. For a complete set of contest rules, visit auburntigers.com/takeittothehouse.
Back outside Jordan-Hare Stadium, getting ready to talk matchups between Auburn and Penn State. But first, did you know that the same people who install the sound system in Jordan-Hare Stadium and run the sound each home game are also available for your special event? Auburn AV can handle any size event, even if you bring 87,000 of your closest friends. Visit auburnav.com to see all their audio-video solutions. Britt Bowen, Jason Campbell, and Ronnie Brown. And guys, this is what is coming down to the matchup segment for Auburn and Penn State. Let's start with the offense. Penn State's defense, guys, they're going to offer a lot of movement across the defensive front, the linebackers, and even in the secondary. But it's going to start down in the trenches today. Thoughts on that matchup?
Yeah, you think about this game, Auburn is averaging 247 yards rushing, and then Penn State is only giving up 80 yards rushing. So the two heads have to meet somewhere. So we understand that Penn State is probably going to stack the box, and it's going to allow us to have some one-on-one opportunities outside with the receivers. And like I said, we haven't taken many shots early in the first two games, but this may be an opportunity to take shots. We understand they have one of the best corners in all of college football in Porter Jr. We understand he's very long. He's a 6'2" corner, and he's very athletic. But at the same time, you still have to give your guys an opportunity to make plays because we know that they're going to force us to try to get the ball on the edge. And it's our offense. We've got to stay out of 3rd and long against this defense. They're very good from a defensive standpoint. If we can stay in 3rd and 3 or under, make it more manageable, then you can still have the option to run play action or run the screen game. So being out of 3rd and long keeps them from pinning their ears back and come after us.
Ronnie, for you, what do you think of this running game and the scheme matchup with Penn State? Because as Jason just said, they're only allowing about 80 yards rushing per game so far. And talking to Coach Harsin yesterday, he said at the luncheon, Ronnie, that, hey, there's some big opportunities today for Auburn to take advantage of with a rushing attack.
Yeah. For me, it always starts in the trenches. That's how you determine, that's how you dictate the flow of the game, who's winning the line of scrimmage. So obviously on the offensive side, you want to come out with aggressive mentality, start off running the football, but at the same time, you have an opportunity to take a shot, like Ben Obomanu said. You want to see some shots down the field to get those guys to back up and loosen up because everyone in the country knows we're going to try to come out. We're going to establish the run. We got a great backfield group. And so being able to get that going is going to be really important. But my thought is when I was in the NFL and I saw a lot of movement on the defensive line, I saw a lot of movement in the front seven, that lets you know they're trying to cover up something. And so there's going to be big opportunities. So for the running backs, the messaging is just stay in it because eventually somebody's going to get out of a gap. Somebody's not going to be where they're supposed to be. And that's when you hit them for the big one. So you got to understand that more times than not, if defenses are moving, They're trying to cover something up that they don't feel good about. And so you just got to stick in it, get a hat on the hat, and you just run the ball, stay downhill, stay vertical, and play aggressive.
Without question, I think the best secondary Auburn has faced to this point this season is Penn State. They have, 25 pass breakups so far through 2 games this season. That leads the nation. So for TJ Finley and the guys, Jason, what are some keys against this defensive unit today, again, who's pretty good for Penn State?
Yeah, one thing is you got to make sure you're throwing accurate passes. Our goal today on offense is protect the football. We have a really good defense as well. So with the crowd noise behind our defense, we can get after them. We just don't need to get them a short field. So making sure that we protect the football first, and then second of all, understanding the matchups. You know, when you get a loaded box, you have 2 sides. Sometimes they're a mirror route, so sometimes you have to make a decision. You know you got to get the ball out. They decide to bring pressure. Go ahead and choose your matchup. And don't be afraid to take your shots. Yes, you respect your opponent, but at the end of the day, he still has to come out and defend. And so I wouldn't be afraid of taking my shots and still making these guys, like Ronnie said, back up a little bit, because I think our tight ends have to be huge today. I really think they got to play a pivotal part in our offense as far as in the run game blocking, but also in the play action pass over the middle, because when you have outside corners that are really good, then you have to utilize that middle of the field, and I think that's where Shanker comes in today.
Flipping the field, Penn State, their offense, guys, they want to play with tempo. And it's funny, Ronnie, you and I got to hear Coach Harsin speak yesterday. He said that, hey, our guys were excited after, a one-play stop or early in a series. Well, he said, hey, guys, we got to do that on 3rd down and not celebrate on 1st down. So how does Auburn adjust to that fast tempo today? And again, stay poised to get Penn State off the field early.
Yeah, I think a big part of that is expecting success, right? So for defensive unit, like you want to show up 11 guys to the ball. That slows down that motivation to kind of run that up-tempo offense. You get everybody hitting the ball carrier. You kind of you discourage that. But then at the same time, like when I say expecting success, you want to get guys to make sure that, hey, man, like, when you make a play in the backfield, that's a good thing, but line up for the next play, like Harsin saying. Like, don't get so overwhelmed, get caught up in the celebration that, they're back up there on the line of scrimmage and they're about to run another play. And, 2, you just don't want to waste that energy. When you got a team like this, you're going to come, it's going to be fast tempo. Save that energy between the snaps.
Heard a lot about quarterback Sean Clifford, guys, and rightfully so. What can Tiger fans expect to see from him today? And what can Auburn do, particularly the linemen, to get in that backfield and hopefully make him have a long day?
Well, we know he's a 6-year senior, so he has experience. So crowd noise, won't be as new to him, but it may be to the offensive line. It may be to the receivers and different things. And you still can make it difficult because our defense feed off the energy. We saw it in San Jose State game, how our crowd noise got into it and made them have 2 false starts. So anytime you put pressure on their offensive line where they're trying to get off on the snap, they can't hear anything, and that makes it difficult. So everyone has to watch the ball, which makes them half a second late on getting off the ball, which helps our defense. So, like I said, he's an experienced quarterback. He made some really good throws. Sometimes he can make some bad decisions that give us the opportunity to make some plays on the ball. But at the same time, though, you have to respect he's a 6-year guy, and they're probably going to lean a lot heavy on him today with this crowd noise.
Well, last year Auburn did a particularly good job at stopping the run. Today, Penn State, they had Nicholas Singleton in their backfield, and he's off to a great start this season. So for Penn State, how will they try to use him to, again, open up the passing game a little bit with running the football?
Yeah, usually when you're playing you're on the road, as a team on the road, you want to establish the run early, and it's a passing game now. Like, the game's more encouraged to pass the football, but you have to establish the run. And so coming into a hostile environment like Auburn University, coming into this stadium, it's going to be tough. And so the best way to do that is to try to fire off the ball and try to get some running game going. And so when you're Auburn, you want to make sure that you stop the run. Make them one-dimensional, though. Like, even, as a quarterback that's going to be the leader of that group, make him one-dimensional. Keep him in the pocket. Force him to make the throws. And then the more the ball goes in the air, the more opportunity there are for turnovers.
Last thing, guys, got to be quick with this. Special teams, games like this, they can have an impact. Auburn's got 2 guys that can absolutely bomb it. Do they have an impact today?
Oh, we have to. Field goal, I think it helps us with Carson. He can kick the ball from anywhere. So, that gives us opportunity. But flipping the field in the punt game is going to be huge today.
In crowd noise, too, guys, right? I mean, we talked a lot about the Auburn crowd. We need 87,000 strong, getting loud and proud today in Jordan-Hare Stadium. But also for Auburn, communication will be just as key as it will be for Penn State.
Yeah, no self-inflicted wounds, no jumping off sides, no off penalties, false starts. And more importantly, special teams have to be special.
That's going to do it for the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage. Thanks to our guests, former Tiger standouts Wes Byrum, Karlos, Dansby, Ben Obomanu, T.D. Moultry, along with Charles Barkley and Dean Calvin Johnson. Now stay tuned for the Outdoor Alabama Countdown to Kickoff, featuring more matchup analysis, the SEC report, starting lineups, interviews with Brian Harsin, coordinators and players, and more ahead of today's game against Penn State. For Andy Burcham, Ronnie Brown, Jason Campbell, Brad Law, and Stan White, I'm Britt Bowen. Thanks for listening to the Tiger Tailgate Show.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Excitement is in the air at Kia of Auburn. Mascots, marching bands, historic rivals, and school chants. Football season is finally here. Kia of Auburn is proud to be a supporter of Auburn Tiger football and athletes. And no matter what team you pull for, you'll always be a winner in a new Kia. From Kia of Auburn, SUVs, sedans, sports cars, hybrids, or electric, we have them all. Our sales and service teams are here to serve you. Stop in person or online at KiaofAuburn.com. Kia of Auburn, where you are always number one.
In football, it's important to call the right play. In life, it can be even more important to make the right call, especially regarding termite protection. To protect my home, I called Cook's Pest Control and got the Centricon system. You don't have to live with termites. For a free quote, make the right call. Cook's Pest Control and the Centricon system.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
All right, everyone, let's hit the road.
Mom, who's this?
Oh, that's Michelle. She's our Alpha agent. She helped me file that auto claim fast after that accident last week, so I figured we'd bring her with us.
Breakfast burrito?
All right, 200 miles before we stop. I hope you've all used the bathroom. Michelle, you good?
Before a little thing becomes a big thing, call your Alpha agent.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
This 2-minute drill brought to you by Alabama Gulf Seafood. There is 53 miles of beautiful coastline along Alabama's Gulf Coast. 30 million pounds of fresh Alabama Gulf seafood are caught each year, and it has a tremendous economic impact with $449 million made each year with 11,000 jobs in coastal Alabama. Bringing us Alabama Gulf Seafood today, and here to talk about it is Kenny Crawford from Bond Secure Fisheries. Kenny, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Glad to be here, and just to let you know that Bond Secure Fisheries is in Bond Secure, Alabama, which is about 5 miles from the Gulf of Mexico. So we're right there at the heart of Alabama Gulf Seafood. The Nelson family has owned and operated the business for 130 years. This is our anniversary of 130. Same family. Over the last 3/4 of that time, they've been heavily involved in fishing and processing, and that last quarter of that period, we've kind of shifted toward distribution, again, getting more and more seafood up to the southeastern area for all consumers to enjoy.
So you have a great motto, fresh from the Gulf to you.
Correct. That's exactly what we do. So remember that, and remember good Alabama Gulf seafood.
Kenny, thanks so much for joining us and telling us about Alabama Gulf Seafood with Bond Secure Fisheries. Alabama Gulf Seafood, find out all the info you need at eatalabamaseafood.com, on social media at AL Seafood on Twitter and Instagram, and Alabama Seafood on Facebook. Coming up, the Outdoor Alabama Countdown to Kickoff as Auburn hosts Penn State. We go to the stadium next. Stay with us. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
We're good.